Hey guys, Kieran here. Today we're going to look at the funded trader program from TopStep Trader. So if you're not aware of what a funded account trader program is, it's essentially a program whereby you can apply to get money from a company to trade on their behalf, and you make a percentage split of their profits. Now you have to stick, of course, within certain risk parameters, and there's numerous terms and conditions alongside a funded account. But that's essentially what it is. So it offers a great opportunity to learn how to trade and to further your trading career, learn how to trade around certain risk parameters, and to make a continual profit. So there's many companies in this space at the moment. We've got FTMO, the Fivers, One Up Trader, TopStep FX, and the one we're going to look at today, TopStep Trader. Now, if you saw my video on TopStep FX, you'll know, of course, that is predominantly focused on the currency markets. TopStep Trader, which falls under the same company umbrella, is predominantly focused on US equities. You'll be trading the instruments on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So what we're going to do today is have a look at the evaluation program and see how fair it is in terms of the risk requirements that we need to follow to get to the funded account stage. Okay, so let's have a look at the account sizes here. So you have a 30k, 50k, 100k, and 150k. I mean, these are virtual balances. What you want to be looking at really here is the profit target and the trailing max drawdowns. So you can see here on the 30k account, you have a $1,500 drawdown. You have to make 2k. Compare that to the 100k. You have a 6k profit target. You can only draw down by 3k. So it's pretty tight risk parameters in terms of the ratio between the drawdown and your profit. Profit, obviously, here you have to make double that of the drawdown. So that's kind of tight. The daily loss limit and the weekly loss limits are okay in the grand scheme of things. And 10 contracts is a huge exposure really for considering the max drawdown is only 3k, so that's something to bear in mind. Probably don't want to be trading this evaluation with such high exposure as 10 contracts. So these account sizes all come with a different monthly price. You can see here the 30k one, the cheapest one, is at $150. Now this is a recurring $150 subscription. So one thing you need to bear in mind when you are figuring out which funded trader program to take is whether you want to be paying a monthly fee or you want to pay just a one-off fee. So the trading programs from FTMO and the Fivers, for example, there's no monthly fee. You just pay a one-off fee up front, and then for the length of the evaluation, there's no further fees, no matter how long it takes. With the Fivers, for example, that's a 6-month evaluation. You're only paying once for that evaluation. However, the one-off fees for those two programs are much higher than these monthly fees here for TopStep Trader. So you have to kind of bear in mind how long you think it's going to take you actually to get funded to make a calculation whether it's worth going for a program with a monthly fee or going for a one-off fee. Okay, so those are the account size options. So we have our profit target and our drawdown, which are the two most important measures to check when we're evaluating which accounts, which programs to go with. Now, in terms of the evaluation, so for TopStep Trader, the same as TopStep FX, we have a 2-step evaluation before we get our funded accounts. So in step 1, we have to hit our profit target. We have to trade a minimum of 5 days. And there is no upper limit on how long we have to trade for, but we have to trade a minimum of 5 days. We can only trade permitted products during permitted times. So we'll come back and have a look at this one in a minute. Do not hit or exceed the daily loss limit. Do not allow your account balance to hit or exceed the trailing max drawdown. Do not hit or exceed the weekly loss limit. Do not hold positions into major economic releases. So this one you need to keep an eye on because for TopStep Trader here, you can see that you cannot even hold positions into economic releases. So what that means is that you're going to need to be trading this account as a day trading account. So you have to be looking at your positions every day. You have to be looking at the news calendar, making sure you're not in any positions when major news is coming out. So this is something you really have to bear in mind with this program, because some other programs you don't have to worry about these types of things. FTMO, the fivers, you can hold positions through news. In the case of the fivers, you can hold positions through the news and the weekend. So if you're not really a day trader and you want to take more longer term swing trades, you're only managing your trades once or twice a day, then this is definitely something you want to look for when you're evaluating a plan, because you don't want to be continually trading in and out during the day if that's not really how your trading style is. So that's something to bear in mind. So it looks like in step one, though, we can hold our positions through major economic releases. It's just in step two here, the second part of the evaluation, you have to start looking at the economic release calendar. And the last thing here is the scaling plan. The scaling plan for TopStep Trader is essentially the lot size you can trade. So as your account grows, you'll be able to trade larger lot sizes. That's how it works for them. For other programs, they will just increase your account size. For example, the fivers, if you make 10% in your funded account, they will double your account. In the case of FTMO, if you make 10% over 4 months, they will increase your account size by 25%. So like I said, for TopStep Trader, same as TopStep FX, your account size they're not increasing it as such. Your buying power is just increasing as you increase the size of that of your account. Okay, so we have a two-step evaluation, like I said. So once we pass step two with these risk parameters, we then have to move to once we pass step one, I should say, we then move to step two. And then once we pass those steps, we get our funded account. So one thing I wanted to mention here is the only trade permitted products during permitted times. So let's have a look at what products we can trade and when we can trade them. So the most important thing I saw here was all positions must be closed prior to 3:10 p.m. Central Time. You can then restart trading at 5 p.m. Central Time. So what this means is that you cannot hold positions through the couple of hours where the market's closed every day. So not only do you have to close your positions for news releases, you also have to close your positions every day. So this is very much a day trader's program. So if you're looking for other types of programs where you can swing trade and hold positions for longer, this is probably not the right program for you. However, if you're looking for a day trading program, maybe you could go for this one. So in terms of the products, these are all CME products. You can see here we have equity futures, FX futures, we have commodities here, and debt and metals. And you'll notice in the evaluation steps, you cannot trade any Eurex products, which is the European exchange. The advantage for people who live in Europe, like myself, would be to trade the Eurex products, because I'm of course awake when these products are at their most liquid. So ideally I would trade the Eurex. However, we can't trade Eurex with TopStep Trader in the evaluation stage. However, we can trade it in the funded account. However, there are a lot of fees that come along with TopStep Trader. And that includes fees for Eurex, includes fees for the CME. So I'll just see if I can find the fees page, because this is definitely something to bear in mind with TopStep Trader. Okay, so these are the fees here that we have to pay when we have our funded account. So we have commissions, regulatory fees, transaction fees, exchange fees. This is a lot of fees to pay for us, considering, in some accounts we only have $1,000 drawdown. We could be paying here a lot of fees per round turn. So this again is a slight negative for TopStep Trader because they force you to day trade, they force you to open and close positions. You have to close your positions at the end of every day. Every time you're opening, every time you're closing trades, you're paying commissions. You have to pay, like I said, all of these fees per trade. You also have to pay $100 for exchange data fees. Let's bring that one up as well. So if you want to pay, if you want to trade the products on the CME, which you essentially have to, you're going to be paying $105 a month for that as well. So again, look at that amount of money compared with the drawdown they're offering. Even in the higher tiered accounts, they're only offering really a 3K, 4K type drawdown. You're paying $100 a month just for the fees. So that's a little bit disappointing, but hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of the types of things that you need to be looking at in the terms and conditions of the funded trader program for TopStep Trader and from other trading programs. All right, so that pretty much wraps up my review of TopStep Trader. Like I said before, it's a difficult program, I think, to pass because it's a two-step program. You have to be day trading, so you have to be closing your positions at the beginning of the end of each day. You have to keep an eye on the news calendar to make sure you're flat going into any major news events. The scaling plan is okay. I mean, they're just essentially increasing your exposure. The drawdown is a trailing drawdown, so as you make more profit, your drawdown trails behind you. So again, that's difficult because the normal ebb and flow of the markets, if you're trading for a long time, you're going to be drawing down 3-4%. It's completely normal to do that. So you're probably going to be hitting your drawdown fairly often, your drawdown limit fairly often with the TopStep funded account. But if you're day trading, it might be a good way to start. I mean, they have very cheap plans. I think the lowest plan was just over $100. So if you want to just test the water and see what it's like to trade a funded account, it could be a good place to start. But yeah, I would probably urge you to have a look at some other options that are out there. FTMO, the Fivers, those two are excellent. FTMO in particular, if you're a day trader or a swing trader, they offer very good terms. But check out my videos on those. All of the programs I mentioned, I'll leave the links in the description. And if you're interested in learning more about funded account trading programs, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, like the video, and in the meantime, I wish you luck.